The Arcane universe is probably the most relevant idea of a steampunk world that our very own might one day mold into. But as the science and technology of everything within this world advances, so do the plagues and mutations that we uncover along the way. One factor of Arcane is the many hands that are reaching to grasp control of the most powerful technology in the world, and things can get a little bloody along the way. Welcome to Otaku Binge. This is the Arcane kill count. We'll be covering the entire first season's on and off-screen deaths in this video, starting with the very first episode and working our way through chronologically.
Welcome to the lanes. You almost got me killed.
And we're including everything: significant deaths, background characters, and even animals that were shown. Some deaths are speculative, for example falling or being thrown off a bridge. And at the end, we'll be giving you the precise kill count. Now with the rules out of the way, let's start counting. Beginning with the first act's first episode, Welcome to the Playground. In episode 1, the series begins with a battlefield that lays quietly in the aftermath of what looks like a rebellion or an uprising of some sort. The two little girls we see are both much younger versions of Vi and Powder. They wander through the smoke that covers the street until they come across a massive bear of a man who turns out to be Vander. That's clobbering an enforcer. We quickly learn this becomes their adoptive parent. Vander also knows of Vi and Powder's mother being killed in battle, which causes Vi to break down and Powder clinging close to her sister. The scene ends as Vander takes them away from the bridge and back to the lanes.
Welcome to the lanes.
Later, we're introduced again to Vi and Powder, who have grown a little older. They're part of a street gang of orphans that live under the protection of their mentor, Vander. After being tipped off by Echo, who is their set of eyes and ears around the Undercity, they break into a scientist's dorm room of the Piltover Academy. Powder slips up and causes a great explosion that takes out a balcony and raises the alarm in Piltover. Surprisingly, no one is killed in this. However, we did notice an enforcer fell off the drawbridge when trying to jump over the opening in pursuit of the four thieves. At the end of the first episode, we see a cat prowling around the lab in Silke's hideout as the mad scientist, Singed, works away. It's soon revealed that he's concocting a powerful serum that transforms people and animals into superhuman mutants. And we even get to see this transformation violently morph what was a harmless mouse into a vicious cat-killing abomination. We don't necessarily see the cat die, but its frantic screaming and blood splattering across the window really illustrates the point. In episode 2's Some Mysteries Are Better Left Unsolved, nobody dies, which was kind of a bummer. But the writers came back strong and merciless with episode 3, the base violence necessary for change. In the beginning of this episode, Vander and his friend Benzo catch Violet before turning herself over to the enforcers from Piltover. When Grayson and her partner, Marcus, arrive with a squad of 3 enforcers, they're intercepted by Silke and Deckard. After slaughtering the authorities, Benzo attempts to rush Silke, but this results in being ripped apart by a rabid Deckard. When the dust settles, they beat a handcuffed Vander unconscious and drag him away. Later on, Violet is fighting a gang of Silke's henchmen on the bridge. As she's holding them off for Milo and Klager to break Vander free, we count her throwing over 3 henchmen. While the fight progresses, Deckard is unleashed and his mutant version throws a 4th henchman off the bridge when entering the battle against Violet. As the gang hides in a metal shelter from a mutant Deckard, Powder sneaks her way on scene with a highly unstable arcane crystal strapped to her homemade monkey bomb. When it detonates, the blast blows Deckard away with the metal shelter and ricochets a barrage of rubble across the room, with everyone hiding inside. We witness Milo pierce through his shoulder with a metal rod, but what kills Milo and Klager is the concrete structure collapsing on top of them. When Vander ingests the shimmer after being stabbed and pushed off the bridge by Silke, he returns to save Violet from Deckard and kills him at the entryway of the metal shelter she was trapped in. But after breaking her out of the inferno, Vander sacrifices himself and serves as a body shield when they plunge to his death below. In Act 2, we begin with Episode 4, Happy Progress Day. Our first off-screen kills belong to 2 Firelight members that fall victim to a trap set below deck by the chaotic, grown-up version of Powder, Jinx. As the fighting continues through the scene, Jinx knocks another 2 Firelight members overboard and hits them with grenades. At another point, she stomps on the head of a 5th Firelight member before knocking off another member's mask. Her stark resemblance to her lost sister Violet sends her into a flashback before killing the 6th Firelight member on screen. Our last kills in this episode are the 6 enforcers that get caught in the blast at the Progress Day Fair. Before Caitlin falls unconscious from being thrown back by the explosion, she catches a glimpse of Jinx after recognizing her insignias. In the 5th episode, Everybody Wants to Be My Enemy, there is only one kill, which was the Crow. As Jinx was wandering through an old ghost town of memories from her childhood, she's startled by a bird and kills it with a single round. She then proceeds to unload a massive amount of rage and fury on the old boxing machine her sister used to practice with. At the end of the second act's 6th episode, when these walls come tumbling down, we see Silke feeding vials of the Shimmer Serum to send the mutants after Violet and Caitlin in the Undercity. But as they approach, Violet unleashes this Falcon Punch-style blow that knocks the rigid structure loose and collapses all around them. The 3 Shimmer mutants are killed in the destruction, but Silke and his henchmen manage to survive. The only kill scene we're shown in episode 7, The Boy Savior, was on the bridge when the firelight insects swarmed the lights. Before Marcus was about to shoot Caitlin, an insect landed on his pistol's muzzle and detonated the swarm, killing Marcus and his night squad of 10 enforcers. A fight then ensues between Jinx and Echo, leaving them both tremendously injured as Caitlin and Vi survive and escape. In the 8th episode, Oil and Water, our first kill belongs to a nightmare from the counselor, recalling a memory with her mother. Hoping to raise a prodigy, the ruthless Noxus leader assures her students that killing one now could save thousands later. Mel has hopes to be a less ruthlessly feared leader,
This war is a failure of statecraft.
but her mother decapitates a princess of the previous regime that once controlled their nation. When the story is brought back to Victor, we see his inherent decline into madness and machinery as he borrows a Shimmer variant from Singed. As the course progresses, he eventually utilizes the serum to make himself more durable for work with the ominous Hex Core. While his biology is being morphed into machine and technology, his assistant and growing love interest, Sky, stumbles into the room and rushes to save him. But the intensity consumes her and evaporates Sky in Victor's arms. Totally crushed, he mourns her ashes and clings to her notes and glasses like relics of what it once meant for him to be human. By the end of the episode, Jace is convinced to begin a full-scale shakedown of Silke's enterprising of the Undercity with an army of enforcers. This begins with a huge raid on one of the mines, and what appears to serve as a warehouse for Shimmer. During the raid, a barrage of mutant super soldiers being fueled with Shimmer throw off and slaughter 9 enforcers in the mine's defense. Luckily, the fight is turned around when Vi and her minor gauntlets enter the ring to pair with the iconic hammer-wielding Jace. Their showdown with the mutants results in 17 mutant super soldiers and a worker boy caught in the crossfire. The casualty throws Jace into a strong desire for diplomacy and peace between the controlling arms of Piltover and the growing independence of Zon. Vi, on the other hand, knows there is no diplomacy the powers of Zon wish to share, and must be dealt with the way Zonites handle things. Her refusal to turn over the gloves almost starts a brawl between Vi and Jace, but he chooses to back down and return to Piltover with a new outlook to approach the growing situation. When we hit the season finale of Arcane, the monster you created, our first kill belongs to a gang lord of Zon's topside. Attempting to undermine the kingpin Silke, he whispers treasonous words to Silke,
There's bigger fish than Silke.
hoping to gain her aid in his mutiny. We're not given his name, but the Yakuza-looking character gets his throat slit by Silke after running his mouth off to Silke a little too freely. As this episode progresses, Vi and Silke have a showdown at the last drop. We're not shown too much besides flashes of purple outside the entrance's cloudy window, but it turns out they were 4 mutant super soldiers guarding the door being thrown around by Vi with her gauntlets. Although she gets her arm ripped out and thrown into the bar's jukebox, Silke still walks away at the end of the episode, sitting in Silke's office. Our final kill for the entire first season of the Arcane series goes to none other than Silke. Caught in the crossfire of Jinx and her outrageous rush from Shimmer, he catches a bullet from her chain gun. His sudden movements, pointing a gun and clicking the chamber, were all just a few ingredients that made her snap during her mental breakdown. With Silke's death, we end with a kill count of 79 deaths, both on and off screen in the first season of Arcane. This includes everyone from main influences in the story to background characters, henchmen, and even animals. Let us know in the comments section what you thought was the most memorable death in the first season of Arcane. Make sure to like this video and hit that notification bell for more videos here on Otaku Binge. Thanks for watching.